Hi, Sonia here again from Child SA. Last week I started Tips Tuesday, and so it is Tuesday, and today I wanted to make this video mainly for educators or for parents that want to know the importance of it for educators. So last week we talked about attachment, and attachment is really important for families, for parents to understand, and for educators as well. But why is attachment so important for educators? And that's the question that I want to talk about today. Now, the reason that it is so important for educators is that babies, right from a very, very young age, yes, they form their primary attachments with their primary caregiver, being one of their key parents or foster carer or whoever it is that is the consistent adult person in their lives that gives them that nurturing, loving care, and they form that bond, that connection, and that forms into sort of that complex attachment. But a lot of the time, our babies from, as young as 6 weeks upwards to 5 years are in early learning centres or, nurseries, daycares. Now, children can form secondary attachments. Now, that might be with someone else, but if a baby or a young child is in a care environment, for, let's say, 2-3 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week, sometimes for long hours as well, then that baby or child may well and hopefully does form a very strong secondary attachment to their primary caregiver. And that's where attachment is so, so important. And that is where consistent caregiving is so, so important, because let's think about some children that maybe don't get that loving, nurturing, caring, attuned attachment at home. And there are some children, sadly, for whatever reason, and there are numerous reasons why children might not get that at home, but if we can give it to them in the early learning and care sector, if they're in our care, then they're getting it from somewhere. Now, if they are getting it at home, and then we're giving them that loving connection, that nurturing, and building that relationship in care as well, then that's fantastic. That's twofold for their development. That is just, that's what they need. So some parents are really worried when their babies or their young children have a really strong bond or attachment with someone in care, and they might even call them mum, and they might be a little bit off when mum or dad pick them up because they're a bit tired or whatever, and not want to leave and cling on to their educator or their carer. And that's really, really hard for the parent to take, and you get all that, parenting guilt and whatever comes in. We don't need to have that. We shouldn't feel guilty about that. But that's another whole topic. But what we should be is really, really grateful that our children feel safe and secure and have formed a connection or a secure attachment with someone in the early learning and care, because if they feel safe, if they feel connected, then what they're able to do is they're able to learn and have that sense of belonging. And that's what we want for our children, because when they're scared, when they're fearful, when they're stressed, when they've got cortisol in their bloodstream, they cannot learn. They just can't access that part of their brain. And so we want them to feel secure and safe and connected to someone that is a consistent caregiver for them. And that's why we talk about attachments in the early learning and care sector. So important. Might talk a bit more about this as we go on for Tips Tuesday. That was a longer video than I planned, but hopefully that you got something out of it. See you next Tuesday. Bye.